This is going to be all off the cuff. You ready?
Yeah, are we on?
Yeah, this is it.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to the first episode of Sips, Riffs, and Flix with your host, Brandon Crouch.
And Kevin Head.
So, some of you may have seen the introduction. Maybe some of you haven't. But if you are appetite for discussion listeners, this is a new little thing that we're doing. This is our first episode. Could be the first of many,
none.
Or none.
First of one.
A premium spot. But what we're going to do is we are guys who like three things. Well, not just three things, but we like drinks. And Kevin like beers and cocktails and stuff like that. But Kevin is new into the bourbon game. I am still a novice and I'm learning. But I also like scotches. So we're going to try different types of sips and even craft beers and beers. And as far as riffs goes, Kevin,
we'll talk about different music. We'll talk about our favorite musicians, songs, soundtracks, history, genres. We'll kind of hit everything. We really have no plans, so we're just going to kind of see where each episode takes us. We might listen to something and talk about it as we listen. We might just talk about something we've heard. We really don't know what we're doing, to be honest.
We're going to figure it out. And also, when it comes to Flix, we're also, as long as me and you, especially in these quarantine times, we love movies, we love TV series, documentaries. So we'll be sharing some of our favorites with you and see what you think. Or if you have something you think we should check out and watch, feel free to send us, along with movies or even drinks or whatnot, send us direct messages, text messages, or leave comments on the YouTube channel or anything like that.
Yeah, assuming this actually works out and keeps going and all three of you that are watching or however many, seriously, like put down in the comments, direct messages, anything, if there's something you think we should taste, watch, listen to. I know there's several people I know are big into bourbons and things like that. So send us recommendations. As Brandon told you, I'm not a huge bourbon guy, so I will be very honest with what I drink.
He's not.
And I will tell you if I hate it or not.
And we're actually not big craft beer guys at all.
No.
As you can tell, if I have my drink of choice, it is a Miller Lite.
And I'm Michelob Ultra.
And he's a Michelob Ultra guy. So we're going to try it. We're going to have fun. We hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll get right on to it. So right. With our first, now this is something we've tried before. We went with something that we actually have in our cabinets instead of going out and buying something new or different. And this is something that someone recommended to Kevin. And Kevin, this is something called. Well, you look this thing up.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google what we're supposed to taste while we do this.
Yeah, and we'll tell you if we actually taste this or not. But this bad boy here is called Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea.
Yeah, so a little bit. I can tell you a little bit about what I already do know. So the deal with this is it's made by Jefferson's. Obviously, they have a lot of different stuff, but this is their very small batch bourbon. And the deal with this is it sits in oak barrels for 6 to 8 years, and then as they're starting to get ready to get it out to do the next steps, they actually put it on a ship and they send it out into the sea for 6 to 8 months. So it travels basically through all the continents. It goes through like 80-some ports. So the rocking back and forth, the different climate changes is supposed to do different things with the sugars, the barrels. The salt from the sea is supposed to give it a hint of salt in the bourbon. So these, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I paid like $80 or $85 for this. So it's one of the, for me, a very expensive bourbon. I know there are others that are way more, but for me, this would be what I would call like a top shelfer, but I'm sure I'm wrong about that.
I don't know, Ben, but I like how you don't like bourbons, but you jump right into the $80 to $85 bottle.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good way. It's a good way to start.
Go big or go to bed. That's what I always say.
Well, I think if you drink too much, actually,
go to bed.
The night that we drank this, we went to bed because we went big.
We accidentally on purpose.
That's kind of the way the best stories happen. So what we'll do is anytime I drink something, I am at 2 cubes. I put 2 ice cubes in my glass. Kevin is new, so he takes the big boy,
and then some.
what I'll do here is and by the way, guys, production is low, so you can see the lighting
low
is
budget.
terrible. And I'm just gonna put this down so I can open this up.
For God's sakes, don't knock it off the table. Do you have any more of these? That's not enough.
This is great. So here you go. I'll let you make your pour, my friend. Yeah, I don't want to under or over do you justice there.
So we're at a 45% alcohol per volume, which is 90 proof. Again, we're Jefferson's Ocean aged at sea. This is volume 17. They always come with this. They also come with this ship's log.
Yeah, what does that mean?
So it'll actually, as you read through it, it'll tell you everywhere that it actually went. So this one was on Ocean Voyage 17 was the name of the ship that it was on. So, yeah, as you keep talking, I'll just see.
That's
yeah,
fine.
So it goes through went through Singapore, San Francisco. I mean, it just names all the random ports it went through. So
how much? No wonder it cost $85 a bottle, because this thing's paying a lot of tax.
Yeah. So at first smell, it smells like every other one I've ever smelled before.
Which smells like what?
Like bad ideas. Oh, you've already poured yours.
Yeah, dude. How much have you drank already?
It smells like bad ideas.
We're gonna cork this bad boy so we don't get this thing.
All right. So if you talk to them for a second, I'm gonna look up.
Sure.
I'm gonna see if I can find like what we're supposed to taste.
All right. So for myself, we tried this before. I think I barely remember it. I couldn't tell what it tastes like. But for me, I like to drink, like I said, two cubes and whatever it is that I'm drinking. If it's a little harsher, I might use 3 cubes. I like for it to melt a little bit, and then I'll take my first sip. So I will go ahead and try that too. Here we go. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I could see myself. It's getting like more flavorful now. It's burning. It's going down. See, I think I have this hiatal hernia / ulcer.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's coating that really good. So that's nice. I am going to wait to tell you what I think and what I taste until after Kevin tastes it. Now remind you, don't tell him what it says we're supposed to taste.
Okay.
I want you to taste it and then tell him what you think.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I read about it.
Yeah, before you read about it.
Because I didn't read any of that.
Okay.
I have no idea what it said.
That's fine.
I really did read it.
So you try your. Oh, by the way, hey, cheers.
Cheers to our first episode. Could be the last. Who knows?
Who knows?
We might take off and be famous. I don't know.
All right,
here we go.
Cheers.
So, note to self, before the next episode, and if we're doing bourbon, I'd like to pour mine a good 30 solid minutes before we start recording. I like to get that little water flavor.
I like to get that little water flavor.
Yeah, that's straight bourbon.
By the way, I brought you a little mason jar of water out here.
I mean, that's straight up bad, just bad something.
So
in my mouth, just it's just strong. It's just strong.
It is strong.
It's strong.
At first, it went down kind of smooth, and then I was like, oh, okay. But then, like, the second wave came and hit me right in my gums. And to be honest with you, I can't taste a damn thing other than my mouth, my tongue, and my gums burning.
My body feels so hot. Like, I am so hot right now.
Well, that's because the garage doesn't come with AC.
I mean, we're low budget, straight up
low budget for sure. But honestly, I don't taste a hint of, there ain't a bit of damn sea salt in there from Singapore to Cheyenne.
I ain't tasted a grain of salt in there. Let me take a sip again. Yeah, no, same thing as last time. Strong. All right, so let me tell you what it says.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
For $85 a bottle, would you buy it again?
So I do remember the last time we drank it.
Good.
I let mine sit for a while.
You did.
And it definitely got smoother as it got watered down.
Okay.
Compared to some other bourbons that I have had, this one definitely was a smoother one once it got to that point to where I actually can sip on it. we've drank Buffalo Trace a good bit. That's kind of what I've learned with is Buffalo Trace. Because apparently I'm went on a lucky streak, and every time I walked in an ABC store, I bought a bottle, and everybody's like, "Where'd you get it at?" So,
which can't happen.
And it's the same. Like once it gets watered down, to me, it's smooth. This one is actually a little bit smoother than the Buffalo Trace is once it's watered down some.
Okay.
So yes, I would buy it for not a weekly, daily drink thing.
A special occasion.
I would keep some in the closet or something.
So, I would probably never buy this and just drink it when you buy it. For me,
well, originally the first time we tried it was the night before you turned 40.
Damn, no wonder I don't remember.
Yeah,
that's fair. Let me try another sip. Yeah, no, nothing but just fire from the devil. That's all I'm getting, man. like this is the thing, though, man. I've drank plenty of different types of booze, and when people talk about wine and even their scotches and specifically this bourbon, you're going to tell us what we're supposed to be tasting here in a minute. I don't know how much of this stuff I have to take and how much liver damage I have to go through to get to what these people are tasting, but I just feel like 99.9% of them are full of shit and the other 0.1% are lying.
I would agree.
But now I am a person who I do enjoy bourbon, and I drink, I may have a cocktail a night or every other night. After the kids go to bed and everybody, I'm winding down, chilling out, relaxing, maybe doing some paperwork or whatnot. I enjoy it. But I don't enjoy it because I'm getting some honey almond friggin' flower notes because I'm not there.
So, and this is the type of person I am. I like cool stories. And I was talking to a buddy of mine, this has been several weeks ago, and he was telling me about it. And all he basically had to say was it comes out of the barrel, they put it on a ship, and it travels the ocean for 6 to 8 months. I was sold. I was like, oh, I got to try it.
Oh, it's definitely a great story.
So to me, the story of it makes it cool. It separates it from the others. Price-wise, I mean, I don't think it's good enough to be double the price of what I typically would pay. But the story is cool, and that's worth a little more every now and then. You got to treat yourself every now and then, So I'm on thewhiskeywash.com.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you've ever looked at that website before.
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Good, me either. So we have no idea if this website is legit. Could be hogwash.
Just the first one I pulled up.
Okay.
So it talks about it's mostly a rye grain mash bill bourbon. The front of the palate leads off with floral notes, citrus notes, and a light black pepper spice.
Have you gotten any of that?
I got some spice. In the mid palate,
it's just the fire.
Here we're at the mid palate. Those flavors taper off, and the bourbon sweetens with caramel driving most of the flavor. Similar to the nose, the soft salt and smoke combine with the caramel, and the finish tapers off with a light, dry note of oak combining with the predominant caramel. I don't taste any caramel.
I don't taste a single thing of what they just said. Is there still more flavor supposed to taste?
That's it.
Have we went to the posterior palate?
No, that's it.
So
smoke talks about some smoke and salt notes, which I got some smoke.
I like smoke.
But yeah, so that's this site, thewhiskeywash.com. They know way more than I do. I can promise you that.
So let's do this. Let's take a sip, and then maybe we have to swish it in our mouth a little bit.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
That way I won't have to use mouthwash tonight. Cheers. You did do that. I forgot to do that. Let me get another. How do you do that without making a whistle sound?
I don't know. Sorry, the caramel got me in the throat.
All right. Legit. It's getting watered down some now, so it's definitely better for me. I do get some caramel. I really do, and maybe it's just because. Maybe it's because I'm looking for it. I don't know.
I'll give them pepper. Or is that spice? Outside of that, I ain't tasting a damn thing other than Listerine with a kick.
So
Listerine that I can drink.
So in all honesty, this is not one that you would not. We're not talking cost or anything.
Right.
You would not keep this in your liquor cabinet to drink.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would not buy this for $80 to $85. And
would you, if it was 40, would you buy it like as a weekly drink?
So to be fair and honest, how I go through my scotches and bourbons is I go to the ABC store and I pick the one that's on special that's less than $30.
That's a true story.
Oh,
I've called him from the ABC store and he's like, "Hey, grab me something over there at the bourbon section." I'm like, "What do you want? Anything that's $30 or less."
That's right. True story. So I told somebody this the other day because I do have a lot of stories. I'm a man of many stories, but tell no tales.
Mm.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Because I got a lot of stories that people go, "You have got to be full of shit," but I'm not. Like it really happened. So yeah,
you live pirate life.
I like the pirate life.
I got to put my hat on so sweat don't roll in my eyes.
Would you ever get you a wristband? I got one of my Jordan wristbands. In there, if you wanna wear one.
I love Michael Jordan.
Only on your left forearm.
That reminds me.
What?
I
You
didn't.
are sweating.
I didn't
want
want
to.
I didn't want to say it on air, but on my way down here, I thought of if we were talking about shows, what this first episode could be called.
Yeah.
I was going to call it Epstein, Tiger King, and Six Rings. That's pretty good, wasn't it?
That's actually very
I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, I just want to share that.
That's not bad.
I liked it.
So here's my question to you then. Would you buy this again?
I'm having technical difficulties. Yeah, I probably would. I probably would. Yeah. Just because this is why. I've bought Buffalo Trace 5 or 6 times now, and I don't.
You don't like it either.
Not as. I mean, not. No, I'm learning to like any of it, but for me, I would much rather sit down with some sort of cocktail or a beer and sip on them rather than pour any of these.
So let me ask you this. What is it that made you decide that you wanted to try to go down a bourbon journey to even try it? Because you're not a bourbon brown liquor drinker.
I think just as I'm getting older,
yeah,
I don't like to sit around and just drink beer after beer. And even drinks. I mean, for me, anything, once you drink two or 3 of something with a meal, it's just kind of enough. This is just something different and new to me, and it's a whole different world. So just trying to learn about stuff, and as you get older, the places you go, the friends you have at their houses, they're going to offer you a bourbon or something. So I got tired of, same with craft beers, I got tired of people wanting to go to a brewery and me walking up and being like, "What's the closest thing you have to Miller Lite or Michelob Ultra?" I got tired of being made fun of, so I just started trying different beers. So now I have craft beers that I do like. But
so essentially, peer pressure got you to this point.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah.
That's fair. All right.
But good times are had at all times with it. So I mean, you don't have to drink to have a good time, but it sure makes things better.
It does. But you don't have to drink and have a good time, but you have to drink and have a damn good time.
Did you just create a slogan for the show?
I mean,
this is the best show we're ever going to do.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Could you make that into a shirt?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I here's the thing, though. I know when I'm drinking something good that I like, that when I do take a drink of it, I don't have to chase it with a Miller Lite. So
I've definitely thought about pouring my beer into my bourbon. And I don't know if that's against bourbon rules or not. It
probably is. It's probably frowned upon in the bourbon world.
So I want to ask this question. Right. Maybe you know. If you don't know, maybe somebody that's going to watch this knows. You can answer it. I like everything to be cold. Mm-hmm. Why do the majority of people that I know keep bourbons, crowns, things of that nature, room temperature? I don't understand that.
You know what? Honestly, that is a great question, and I don't know. And I bet you of the 4 to 9 people that might watch this, there could be someone out there that is a bourbon, even scotch, or I guess that's really brown liquor, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I even for the most part keep my vodka in the freezer,
Yeah.
tequila in the freezer.
Yeah.
But why do you not keep brown liquor in the freezer?
And I
It's a
would.
great question.
The only reason I've not kept any of this in the freezer is because I felt like I wasn't supposed to. Like I was going to break some code
Well,
or something.
and you know what? To be honest with you, if you look at it on the movies and TV shows, they have it in that thing that's not a decanter, it's whatever that other thing is.
And it's like a crystal looking
And it's
thing,
like
too.
over there on this like stand, and then they pour it into a glass just like this.
Yeah. With
And
like
then,
2 cubes of ice.
Well, no, they go neat. Neat, by the way, means no ice or
Which
no
I
water.
think's dirty. They should call it dirty.
Honestly, it makes I've tried it, it makes my butthole sore. Like, if I don't have a little bit of water, a little bit of chill in there, like that first, it goes straight past my ulcer and right to my butthole. I am on fire, and I'm like, I need a barrier. I need a cold barrier.
I mean, people should share this strictly for that 30 seconds that just happened.
Well, listen, I cannot compare my butthole to other people. So their bunghole's different.
If you know what Brandon's talking about, put a comment. If your butthole has ever sweated because of a neat drink,
or you've had that thing, where even your testicles draw up.
Yeah.
You're like, God, So
the friend that did tell me about this Jefferson's Ocean, he actually does keep his in the freezer.
Oh, he does.
He's a huge Crown fan.
Mm-hmm.
He drinks Crown. That's typically what he drinks. He keeps it in the freezer, and he just pours it in a cup with a cube or two of ice, and then he does put a little splash of water. And he's the one that has kind of drank this in place of it, and he said that he's been kind of learning to drink it also, but he does it out of the freezer with some ice, splash of water. So, and mine's starting to definitely water down more. And like I said, as it waters down, I definitely like it a lot more.
So apparently, I don't know, because again, I'm not a connoisseur. Apparently the water helps bring out the oils or flavors, and it helps it breathe. I don't know. People, you can tell us what's real and what's not. I don't know.
This one definitely, as it waters down, and I'm not joking, it definitely has a bit more of a oaky caramel flavor.
Okay. My ice has completely melted because it's hotter than a
Jefferson's Ocean ulcer butthole in here.
Or 2 rats fucking in a wool sock. But let's see.
But you didn't have enough ice to begin with is your problem.
So, actually, you know what? I still can't taste a damn thing they're saying. But it's so much smoother, it's not burning me from the inside out. Okay? So it is.
I really thought you were going to be like, you know what? I'm getting that hint of caramel.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not going to bullshit you.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't get that. But it's much smoother to go down. So now I could totally sit there and watch a Netflix show and drink 1, maybe 2 of these. And then my wife's going to come down at 4 o'clock in the morning and ask me why my head's in the toilet bowl. I thought you were just watching Netflix. And I was like, hell, I had 2 Jefferson's Oceans, and I went to Singapore
and she will not be excited about it.
Well, she's getting better at it.
Yeah.
Well, the first time she wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the new normal.
Listen, we're on lockdown.
Anything goes on lockdown.
Once y'all go to bed, it's no holds barred.
I don't know if it's getting hotter in here or if it's the Jefferson's Ocean kicking me square in my face.
It's definitely both. It is hot.
I'm going to lose my shirt in the first episode.
Well,
I'm going to end up being the shirtless guy in every episode, I kind of feel like.
Well, you should. I mean, I'm the shirtless guy at the concert, so you might as well be the shirtless guy on the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
All right.
All right. Is there anything else you want to tell the folks about this?
This Jefferson's Ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're curious about it, I would definitely find a friend that has some and get a glass from them, and then make up your own mind. It would, if you're a bourbon drinker, I think that you probably, like, if you definitely are a more of a bourbon drinker, I think that you probably would be safe to buy this. I feel like it's, I don't know. I feel like it's on par with most of the others, if not possibly a little better. I don't know. I don't know anything about bourbon.
So this last sip that I took, it was fine until
caramel.
It was actually
Oak.
Aquanet. So right at the last sip, when I breathed out, I was like, there's that high pitch right there in the back of my uvula, and it was hairspray. Have you ever? Obviously you don't use hairspray, but if you were to use hairspray and you inhale it, and you're like, "Ooh, God, I got that in my mouth." That's where I was with this.
I definitely know what you're talking about.
You do that? Okay.
I do know what you're talking about.
Why is that?
I don't know where my uvula is, first off. So
It's the hanging ball.
I think I've had mine. No, that was my
Your tongue? Did you have you surely have your uvula removed?
No, I think my uvula is intact. I had a
uvulectomy.
No, I can't think what it's called. My thyroid. I had they took some of my thyroid out.
A biopsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stuck it in there like 6 times.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with your uvula.
It's close. It's got to be close to it. There's not so much room down here.
It's in your neck gland, so it's fine.
Your neck bone.
It's in your neck bone. Yeah. All right. So, anything else?
It's getting better. It's getting better. As it waters down, it's getting better.
You just finished yours, essentially.
I have a touch left. So,
by the way, I do want to say I'm proud of you that you actually finished a bourbon drink without the huge ice ball melting, because normally this ice ball right here, it is gone when Kevin finishes his drink. So he's come along.
People are watching. Peer pressure.
It's peer pressure.
I can't be the guy sipping. You need a nipple on that bourbon. Can't be that guy.
But see, that's the other thing about bourbon, shifting from when it comes from bourbon to beer. Like, you drink a bunch of beer, 3 beers, 6 beers in a night.
Yeah.
What are you smelling?
Just oak.
You liar.
And then hint of caramel.
The only thing you're smelling is your upper lip at this point.
Definitely caramel.
But, some people, there's no fucking caramel. No, I smell alcohol, and it's hitting me right in my olfactory nerve. So, for example, you said, 6 bourbons, why not? If you drink 6 bourbons, you have put your Peter in the mashed potatoes at the party. You
do not drink 6 bourbons.
Not quick.
Drink 2 bourbons.
Right. So 3 if things get frisky. After 3, bets are off.
Go to bed.
You can't be responsible.
Go to bed
for what happens. But beers, you can drink beers much faster.
All day.
The alcohol
all
content.
Day long.
Yeah, you can't sip bourbon all day. I mean, some might be able to.
I bet
I'm
you
not there.
some can.
Oh, for sure, there's some can, but they're trained professionals.
True, they have definitely practiced.
I mean, I had to put in 2 years of work to where I actually like Scotch.
I'm sure I got a long ways to go.
But I still can't tell you. So maybe next time, actually, we have. I feel very fortunate on the show because we have 2 liquors that we're going to try that most of you either A, you've never heard of, or B, you've never tried. Maybe both. That's right.
Is one of them my
you can't even get
favorite?
It's your favorite.
Can I even tell what?
Nope.
Not the name of it. Can I tell what type of alcohol?
Nope.
I won't.
Nope. We're going to save it.
Gosh, I love what he's talking about.
What's about to happen. And as a matter of fact, I might even try to do something special for that one.
Ooh.
We'll see. Who knows? But should we wrap this thing up?
Well,
the first episode of Sips, Riffs, and Flix?
We could, but since it was the first one, I brought something else to try.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
It's not a bourbon, though.
That's okay.
Can we mix stuff?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
We got what the hell we want to do. We're grown-ass men, almost 40. Hey, and by the way, for those of you who are listening, Kevin, is it a week from today? Kevin's going to turn 40. So, what is that? Oh, God. Death in a glass. All right, let me see here. This is called, by the way, I had no idea this was coming.
It's first show surprise.
Sugarland's Shine, Stories in Every Jar. And this is Butterscotch Gold Moonshine, the official moonshine of NASCAR.
So we went to Gatlinburg.
I thought we were just going to drink bourbon. I got to do a different stretch.
In February. And so we went to this Sugarland's distillery, and we did a moonshine tasting, and it was so much fun. We tasted I think we tasted 10 or 12. So then Brandon's going to get water. So then after we tasted so many of them,
hey, can you pause a second?
Can I pause?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
See, I want to make sure I understand right. You tasted 10 to 12 moonshines.
Yes. So
and you were allowed to tell about it?
Listen, this is no joke. So this place in Gatlinburg, it was 10 or 12 moonshines. It was $5. And you tasted, it was shots of, I mean, for real, there was 10 or 12 of them. So then once it was over, we were on like a family trip, me and some cousins and a bunch of us were hanging out. So we all got together and they had this deal where if you bought, I think it was if you bought 5 bottles, you get the 6th one free or something. So we all ended up buying several bottles. So this was one that my wife really liked. So I brought it home, and then I also brought the strawberry cream one that I really liked. But as I was getting beers out of the fridge to come down here, I saw that looking at me, and I was like, "That'd be fun for the first episode."
Yeah, I like a good surprise too. I actually, I'm gonna look this company up, and I have their card. I'm gonna give them a shout out.
So, here's an interesting thing about this place as well. They, my mind just went blank. They have a couple different country singers that they do moonshines with, and they have a couple with, I cannot think of his name. Hold on, I'll tell you. What are you looking up?
I'll tell you here in just a second.
I don't like awkward silence.
Oh, that's okay. What I was going to, oh, there it is, bin shot. Okay. So what I was going to tell the folks was some of them may have been paying attention that I was drinking out of this. This is my favorite glass to drink out of, and it is something called bin shot. And this actually has a bullet going into the glass, and they make these things for beer, whiskey, and some other things too. But they got a really cool story, and it's proudly handmade in Wisconsin since 2015. And I'm pretty sure it is a military, either son, dad, or both. I didn't think I was going to talk about them. Otherwise, I would have known a little bit more about it. But my wife got this for me and some other family members for a Christmas gift 4 years ago, this coming Christmas. But this is what I drink out of every time I'm having one of these drinks, with the exception of a recent birthday gift that I just received. But I fill up mine with two cubes of ice, and I fill it up to the bullet. So when my wife says, "How much did you drink last night?" and I'll tell her 2 bullets, so that she knows I've had 2 drinks up to
the bullet.
Ow.
I do like that glass. I look at it all the time.
It is. No, I mean, it's super cool. I mean, and so check those guys out. Ben Shot.
Cool deal. So yeah, I was trying to think of the country singer's name. I'm super apologize. I forgot it. I tend to forget a lot of people's names. So Cole Swindell has, I think it's 2 or 3 different flavors of moonshine with this, Sugarlands Distillery. But if you're ever in Gatlinburg, it's basically directly across from the old Smoky moonshine, which most people have heard of and know about. And I didn't know about this one, but out of everything I tasted, everything was good. But I also really like moonshine. So I'm a moonshine drinker. I've always liked moonshine.
Well, that would be illegal. So no, you haven't. Not that we're from the Piedmont of North Carolina and have drank moonshines essentially since we've had a ball in our mouth.
I don't know anyone that has gallon jugs of moonshine.
Nope, nowhere around here.
Nope.
Or buried in their basement. So to take this, should we put it on ice or just drink it?
I think we drink it out of the mason jar is how I drink.
Okay. So I want to ask the folks here too, since this is now a 2-part episode of Sips.
And this has been in the
Flix.
fridge for a long time, so it's cold. Yeah.
So, and I'm going to get the story wrong, and I wish he was here to tell me the true way to do this. But when my grandfather used to run moonshine and had been arrested multiple times by my other grandfather, which is a totally different story.
Wait. Your one grandfather arrested the other grandfather?
Correct. Before their children married and made me. Right.
I never heard that.
Yeah, so
that's great.
So Pop was on the police department.
Yeah.
Okay, and he arrested Demp, and Demp was running moonshine.
Oh. Okay.
And so there's a picture, and I could find it somewhere, where Pop is pouring, or the cops are pouring. Maybe Pop's not in the picture, but they're pouring gallons of moonshine out into the storage drain. But he said he always reminded me, like, we didn't pour them all out. but that was a part of Demp's run that he was on. So yes, my one grandfather had put my other grandfather into the Statesville jail more than on one occasion.
That is awesome.
You're welcome.
If you could find that picture, you should definitely have a T-shirt with that on the front of it.
The picture he has is the picture I saw from him. I'm pretty sure Steve Hill has at the Statesville, but Pops, my grandpa's not in it, but he was part of the arresting team. Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
But one thing Demp told me was, if you ever get moonshine and you get it, like this.
Here, let me help you.
You take it and you shoot it like this.
Oh yeah, to see
and it has something to do with the bubbles. And if the bubbles come below the surface, then you can tell that it's good. And if the bubbles kind of hover halfway on the line and above the liquid, then it's damn. I can't remember the proof. I don't know. I was very young when he told me.
Well,
but.
And the thing was,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, and the thing with all these are, to be a legal moonshine, it can only be, I don't know the process.
No. Well, that was going to be my next step. Like, you can't sell this at 120 proof.
No.
Right?
No.
So it's got to be, well, I don't know what does this thing say.
I think
this is 40 proof.
Okay, that was 40.
So all of these bubbles, by his test, they're up above. Now they're popping.
Popping.
So I'm sure there's people who are listening here whose grandpa is still alive, and they can tell
help
them.
us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's the
and refresh my
popcorn?
memory.
We need popcorn.
Popcorn Sutton. Well, he killed himself.
He did.
Bless his heart.
So they did have one that was 90 proof. I think they had a 110 was the one that most people didn't like, which I thought was actually pretty smooth.
110.
Yeah, but so these are the ones. Like, the cool thing about this, like, they had, for instance, they had one that was like a watermelon flavor, which I didn't try it. But say, for instance, it's the watermelon flavor. So they would have like 3 or 4 different cocktails that you use that for. The butterscotch one, they had several cocktails. So it would be like, these are great for summer, here's for winter, like all this different stuff.
I like that.
So the one that my house that I have besides this one is a strawberry cream one. I've poured it and I've mixed it with Sprite, and just because I just like to mix stuff with Sprite, and it was really good.
So can we try it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
All right. Are we gonna share?
No, I've had it, so yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm already getting your COVID backwash. All right, here we go.
Not true.
Well, if you can't drink that all damn day, there's something wrong with
That's what I'm saying. It's so smooth. It's so smooth.
It's so smooth, but it's also very sweet.
Yeah.
It's sweet. But if you like butterscotch, you're not going to be disappointed.
And Maria loved this one, but she definitely likes butterscotch, but it is definitely butterscotchy.
Oh, it's definitely so. Oh, God bless, that's good.
I actually forgot how good that is.
Well, that's because we had butthole sweat over here with this Ocean 17 barrel or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
No, it is good. But I think if you drank a lot of that, we could drink this whole bottle tonight. But I think the sugar in it.
I have to work tomorrow.
Well, I mean, so do I. But
the sugar in it would make us.
Oh, I have a headache from where.
Yeah.
Because people have always, I didn't know this growing up, but as we get older, apparently, like when you're mixing liquor with Coke or whatnot, it's the sugar that gives you the headache. It also could be the 15 of them that you drank.
True.
But the sugar gives you a headache. I don't know how true that is or not.
Apparently, that's why when I do drink wine, because I don't like wine at all. But when I do drink wine, I drink really sweet wines. And apparently that's why I always have a worse headache than everybody else. And that's what they've told me at wine tastings. Because me and my wife went through about a 2-year period where we got into going to vineyards, doing wine tastings, which I do like that because it's just tasting them instead of sitting there drinking, because I just don't like them that much.
Yeah.
But I do like all the sweet ones, which Maria does not like at all.
So the only sweet wines that I like are muscadine wine that my, I guess technically step-grandfather used to make.
Yeah. And
we would drink it because he had his own, like, probably 10 rows of grapes. But outside of that, I don't. But I think it's also the tannins or something that give you. I don't know.
This show is getting too serious.
It is getting too serious.
We're talking about tannins.
Tannins. There's something that gives you the headache. But I enjoy a wine, And we're going to try that stuff too. So if you want something for us to try, and by the way, it could be god awful or it could be smooth.
Yeah.
We're really not going to know the difference. However, I would like for you to try something that's going to make Kevin almost throw up in his mouth on air. And we're not going to, by the way, just like Appetite for Discussion, there is no editing on what we're doing here. Not today. So there'll be none of that shit.
So straight up, we're gonna keep doing this show, and there's no schedule that we'll just announce when a new show happens. We're gonna shoot for, I don't know, every other week maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's not set the expectations.
So, yeah.
We'll see what the people say.
And we'll announce them as they come. But if you are watching, seriously, leave some comments, share it for us, spread it around. The whole thing is we're just really just trying to have fun, bring people together, be very lighthearted, and just bond over basically your most common things, which is drinking and music and watching shows. And so comment and give us some ideas of stuff to taste, even if it's like your favorite cocktail. We'll go get the stuff to make it. We'll try it on air. If there's a good docu-series you've watched, a good documentary you think we should watch and talk about. But I want it to be interactive. I want people to comment.
Absolutely.
If you leave comments, we will address your comments. We will message you back. We'll talk about it on the air. We might end up, who knows, having somebody come on the show. I mean, who knows what we might do.
Who knows?
But I will say maybe for the next one, I've still got, I think, 4 episodes to watch. I've kind of been skipping around, but I'm almost done with Dark Side of the Ring, which I think you've finished, right?
That's happening.
So I would love to discuss that docuseries because it's been really good. It's been, it's been really good.
It's actually, even if you're not, and I've told my wife, because she's not a wrestling fan, which is fine, but if you're just a fan of a good story, a true story, then you can sit down and you can watch this, because if you grew up here in the South, you know wrestling. You may not know it as enthusiastically as others, but you know most of the main characters, so to speak, the people. But when you dive into the second layer of folks that maybe you've never heard of that were big time, but they weren't Stone Cold or Hulk Hogan or Randy Macho Man or whatever, it's the story that just engulfs you, that you can just get wrapped up in, just say, holy shit. Like you had no idea.
Yeah, there's people on here that I've never heard of. So like I just watched, we're not going to get into it, but I'll just say this real quick. I just watched the one about Gorgeous Gino.
Yep.
And I had no idea who he was, but I was very blown away by how much of, I feel like Ric Flair came from Gorgeous Gino. There's a lot of similarities in the.
But were they?
We'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next time.
Ric Flair was after him, a little bit after him. I mean, they were same, but Gorgeous Gino died. Ric Flair became.
We'll talk about it next time. And also, the next time you see us, we may or we may not be in the same recording studio.
Yeah, new things on the horizon.
New things are on the horizon for Sips, Riffs, and Flix, and the Appetite for Discussion podcast. So,
big things coming.
Absolutely. Again, if you haven't had the opportunity, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want something for us to try, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And I think this is good.
I think
had a good first show.
I thought so.
Oh, by the way, is there something that we're supposed to taste in this other than butterscotch?
Firewater.
That was the first bottle. So I'll tell you what. Salute to all of you, and also I did want to say one thing too. By the way, before we end this. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And so this is hopefully one show, one podcast that you can listen to help detach from all the noise. And you can laugh, you can have a good time, you can learn something maybe new about a drink or a movie or a song that you haven't thought about. But this is a place for everyone to come and visit and escape all the reality that's going on, all the bullshit that's happening in the world. So,
and remember, you don't have to drink to have a good time.
But if you do, what did I say?
Oh, you blew it.
I did blow it. You set me up.
Let's do take 2.
Take 2.
All right, hold on. Let me get back in character. You don't have to drink to have a good time.
But if we want to have a damn good time, drink.
That's right. Still kind of messed it up, but what else?
Whatever.
See y'all.
Thanks, everybody. You better go easy on that butterscotch.